Now, let us look at what would happen if the gates to the 96% were closed on us. The fire is not made up of the same kind of physics as that of the 4% universe. Some call it astatic, like in Scientology, which means the soul, or fire in this case, exists outside of the physical, and even outside the interdimensional universe. Hubbard recognized this, but he is of course not the only one. This is well known amongst the Gnostics and inside secret societies, and today, in metaphysics, it is held as self-evident. In truth, the fire exists in the 96% universe, which in Park's dimensional structure would probably correspond with the higher levels of the ANGAL, which is a whole different set of dimensions than those which exist in the 4% reality. In LPGC's working model, it would be the void and the 6 superdomains outside for space, time. The 96% goddess universe has its own dimensions as well. Lord ENKI gave humankind access to the inner sanctum of the ANGAL, the universe of angels, but contradicted this with also giving us the much lower vibration of the 4% soul energy. A totally different kind of energy, and then create additional conflict by letting the Syrians give both souls amnesia. Hence, we can't, in our current stage of development, access our true abilities on a conscious level, but the Syrians know how to at least temporarily take advantage of our abilities by sucking out our fire energy like the cosmic vampires they truly are. Of course, vampires in our own history are pertaining to the Syrian overlords. Some readers may ask themselves why ENKI, who apparently could create a species with this kind of access to the Ka and Gal, couldn't do the same thing for the Syrians and not use 4% soul energy, and the problem would be solved. Well, first of all, ENKI and the Syrian overlords are all males, so they wouldn't have access to the same pure fire as the human females, from whom they are now taking their soul energy, but the most important thing is that it was not allowed. Prince Ea had permission by the goddess herself to create Homo sapiens, whom would be the successors of the Namlu. At least this seems to have been the basic purpose, and to become intermediaries between the Ka and the 4%. But he did not have permission to do so for any other beings than the Earth humanoids. Also, Prince Ea, being Aryan, already possessed the fire, but in a diminished quantity, like any male. If he would have gone against this stipulation, his project would have been stopped before it was completed. Such a star race would be forbidden access to the 96%. Humans were basically allowed access, and now the Syrians as well, through the humans, but only by consent. The humans need to agree to allow the Syrians to steal their fire. Something the overlords have managed, through manipulation, to achieve many times. As an important side note, I need to add something Robert Morning Sky included in one of his audio tapes, The Hidden Pearl. He said that some beings of the 96% dark universe are seriously thinking about forbidding humans from having access to their universe because of the way we behave. They don't want us there, so this is another reason why we have to change our ways very quickly. Because if we don't, we lose our access. So what happens if we lose our access? I can only speculate from the information I have, and I can see the following scenarios being possible. If the beings of the Ka will close the gates to their universe, the fire inside of us would be severely diminished, and the women can no longer connect with the 96%. Then, all we have left is the avatar with which we can explore the dimensions of the 4% reality, but not the Ka. We lose our ability to further connect to the void. We still have an advantage before other beings in for space, time, but we lose our shortcut into the heavens. We blew it, as they say, by being lazy. We would still have our fair chance to earn access to the Ka in the future if we show ourselves worthy. Just like any other star races, but we would have to prove ourselves a lot before we regained that access. We would probably be at the bottom of the totem pole, together with beings of war, but when we can prove that we are peaceful and loving beings, we can dwell in the heavens with the angels. The reader can probably now see the similarities between the biblical heaven, which is the ANGAL, Ka, void 96%, where we will live with the angels and the goddess herself, and hell, which is the by-Syrian hijacked 4% universe. That basically was not meant to be as harsh as it is, but has become so due to that the Syrians stole the energy of the 4% universe and locked it, like we discussed earlier. The lower realms of hell would be the kind of hell the Syrians have threatened us with if we don't follow their golden rules, and for those who strongly believe that, and fear it with all their might, it will be real, because we create our own versions of the multiverse.